Hello! In this video we're going to be looking at inequalities. So our intention is that we are going to, by the end of this video, be able to use inequality symbols to compare amounts. Okay? So what on earth am I talking about then? So we need to understand the difference between equality and inequality in maths. So let's say I've got a maths sort of like an addition problem like this. I've got 2 plus 3. Now we know then that the answer is 5, right? So I might write equals 5. And this symbol here is really important because this symbol is telling us that these two things are equal. 2 plus 3 and 5 are equal to each other. They're exactly the same value. 2 plus 3 is equal to 5. So this is an equality because these guys are equal. Let's say I had something else then. I've got 2 plus 3 and then over here I've got a 6. Now it wouldn't be right for me to pop an equal sign in here because that's not true, is it? It's not true that 2 plus 3 and 6 are equal. They're not equal. So this isn't an equality. This must be another thing. This must be an inequality. So we've got some symbols we use when things are unequal, when it's not an equality, when it's instead an inequality. And the symbols that we're going to use sort of look like this. So we've got this one here, which is saying less than. It's saying 2 plus 3 is less than 6. So it isn't equal. This isn't an equality. This is an inequality. Let's do another one the other way around just so we can see how that works. So 2 plus 3 and 4. Again, I can't say that they're equal because they're not worth the same. That's not the same value, is it? I can't say that 2 plus 3 is less than 4. So I'm not going to use that symbol. I'm going to use this symbol. 2 plus 3 is greater than 4. Okay, and a really good way of remembering which way round those greater and less thans go, because they look kind of similar, don't they? Imagine that this is the mouth of a crocodile and that crocodile is trying to eat the bigger amount. So 2 plus 3, that's less than 6, so the crocodile's mouth is open this way, it's going to try and eat the 6. This way though, the crocodile's facing the other way. 2 plus 3 is bigger than 4, so this crocodile is going to try and eat the 2 plus 3 rather than the 4. So it's opened its mouth this way instead of this way. Okay, let's have a go at popping some inequality symbols between some amounts then. So I've got these two values here. I've got 8 and I've got 11, and we're just asked to fill the blank space with a symbol. So first question then is, which of those is bigger? Well, clearly 11 is bigger, right? So which way around am I drawing the symbol? It better be this way around. The crocodile is going to try and eat the 11 because the 11 is bigger, so we want it pointing that way. So I'd read this sort of line of maths as 8 is less than 11. Okay, another. Now I've got 18 and 11, so this time the crocodile's going to face the other way, right? Because 18 is bigger than 11, so I would read this as 18 is bigger than, or maybe greater than, 11. Let's look at another. Ooh, okay, so bigger numbers this time. I've got 108 and I've got 110. Which one of those is bigger? Well, 110 is bigger, so the crocodile's facing this way. 108 is less than 110. Okay, even bigger numbers now. I've got 1,908. I've got 11,300. Which is bigger? Obviously 11,300 is the bigger one. So that's the way the crocodile's going to face. The crocodile wants to eat the number that's bigger, and that's this one here. Okay, we're going to get a wee bit more complicated now because we're going to bring in some negative numbers. Now, we've got to be really careful when we're dealing with negative numbers. Think about where the numbers would be on a number line. So let's say I've got my number line here and 0 is about here on my number line in the middle. Where's 8 going to be? Well, like about there, probably, isn't it? Let's pop an 8 on my number line. Where's negative 10 going to be? Well, it's going to be to the left, isn't it? It's going to be somewhere down here. Negative 10. And we know, don't we, that when we go up the way on our number line, the numbers get bigger. And when we go down the way on our number line, they get smaller. So, which is bigger? Is it 8 or is it negative 10? Well, it's 8, isn't it? Because 8 is at this end, negative 10 is all the way down here. So 8 is greater than negative 10. Okay? Another then, with some negative numbers then. I've got negative 18 and I've got negative 10. Maybe, if it's helpful, we could think about that number line again. This time I'm going to pop my 0 up here, because negative 10 is going to be about here. negative 18 is going to be about here. Which one of those is bigger then? It's negative 10, isn't it? Negative 10 is the bigger one this time around. Because when we get bigger, we go this way up the number line. When we get smaller, we go that way. So negative 18 must be the smaller amount. Another then. I've got negative 18 and I've got negative 100. Which one's bigger? Negative 18 is bigger. If we think about drawing out our number line, we'd have 0 somewhere over here. Negative 100 is going to be miles away in that direction, isn't it? So negative 18 must be the bigger one. Another way we can think about this with negative numbers, let's say that your bank balance was negative £18, and let's say that my bank balance was negative £100, you're clearly doing better than me, aren't you? We're both in the negatives, but I'm a lot further into the negatives, so you've got more money than I have. Okay, a few more then. I've got negative 18 and positive 100. Now hopefully this one's a nice simple one, because 100 is much bigger than negative 18, isn't it? So we're going that way round. Negative 18 is less than 100. Right, now we're going to bring in some units. So we've got measurements here. I've got 73 millimeters and I've got 7 centimeters. I want to know which one's bigger. Now before we can do that comparison, like we did a few weeks ago with ratios, we're going to need to think about putting these in the same unit. So I'm going to choose to keep the millimeters as they are. So I'm going to say 73 millimeters. You can stay like that. 7 centimeters though, let's change that to also be millimeters. Now we need to think, how many millimeters make a centimeter? Now either you remember this or you can write it down. There'll be a slide where I remind you what all these things are. But we should know that 10 millimeters is 1 centimeter. So if I've got 7 centimeters, that's 7 of these, that must be worth 7 of these. So that's going to be 70 millimeters. So 73 millimeters, is that bigger or smaller than 7 centimeters? Well, clearly it's a little bit bigger, isn't it? Because this is the same as 70 millimeters, this is the same as 73 millimeters. So which one's bigger? That one, just by a little bit. Another one then, so we're in millimeters and we're in centimeters again. I've got that same amount over here, so this is still 70 millimeters. Which one's bigger now? Well, 7 centimeters is a little bit bigger than 65 millimeters, isn't it? Because 65 millimeters is less than 70 millimeters. Okay, grams and kilograms this time. I'm going to write out the conversion thing again. So if I've got 1 kilogram, that's the same as, do you know how many grams? 1,000 grams. 1 kilogram is the same as 1,000 grams. That means 4 kilograms must be the same as 4,000 grams. So which one of these is bigger then? Is it 5,408 grams or is it 4,000 grams? That one's the bigger one, isn't it? 5,408 grams is bigger than 4 kilograms. Just a few more then. 2 hours and 108 minutes. Let's think about which one's bigger. I'm going to leave this minutes one as it is, and I'm going to change this into minutes. So again, probably we know this one, but 1 hour is worth 60 minutes. Those are the same. And if 1 hour is 60 minutes, 2 hours is going to be twice as much. That's going to be 120 minutes. So which is bigger? 2 hours is bigger. 2 hours is bigger than or greater than 108 minutes. Kilometers and meters then. Let's again write out that conversion. 1,000 meters is equal to 1 kilometer. So if I've got 3.8 kilometers, I'm going to have to do 3.8 multiplied by 1,000. And 3.8 multiplied by 1,000 is just going to be 3,800. So over here I've got 3,800 meters. Over here I've got 4,300 meters. Which is bigger? That one's bigger, isn't it? So we're writing our inequality this way around. 3.8 kilometers is less than 4,300 meters. Final one. Oh, well, final one is just this slide. So if we don't remember them, it might be useful just to pause the video here and write down a few, or maybe you can come back to this a wee bit later. these are the conversions that might be useful. Okay, cheers. See you in a bit.